Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be showing you guys my 2020 updated Dark World, Danger Dark World structure deck. However, there are a few cards that I'm missing, so I will show you guys cards that I am running in place of that card, but I will tell you guys what you guys should be running instead. But with that being said, let's go ahead and jump on into the profile. So of course, starting off, we run 2 copies of the boss monster being Graphia. Graphia is a really good card, just being able to pretty much bounce a card on the field while this card is in graveyard to summon itself back out, just to be able to recur your own cards. Then of course we do run Rainbow. Rainbow does have the effect of if this card is discarded, you can search for a level 4 or higher, or a monster that's a level higher than level 4 for the Dark World. So of course you'd be adding either this, or you will be adding another card, which is your Silva, but we're going to go into that a little bit later and what that does. It also has the effect of if it is sent by your opponent's card effect, you can then special summon a level 4 or lower from your deck. So practically you just get to search a card and then special summon a card if it's sent by an opponent's card effect, which kind of is what this deck can do. Also, not to mention that this card does have the same kind of effect of Graphia to be able to return a monster on the field, but it has to be level 7 or higher. No, level 7 or lower, my apologies. So that would have to be like one of your smaller Dark World monsters. Going into, of course, the smaller Dark World monsters, you run 3 copies of the brand new Genta Gateman of Dark World. This card is actually really busted, being able to just say, you discard this card, then you can add Gates of the Dark World. You can then activate Gates of the Dark World to banish this card, discard another Fiend monster to special summon this card back out. The special summon is a once per turn effect, the other effect is not. Continuing on, we do, of course, run the best searcher in this deck, Snow. We run 3 copies because either we're going to discard it or our opponents are going to discard it. Either way, we're going to get a bunch of stuff off of it. Continuing, we do, of course, run 3 copies of Brow. Brow is really good, being able to... It says that if this card is discarded, you can draw 1 card, but if it's discarded by an opponent's card effect, you can instead draw 2 cards. So just being able to have that extra draw is really powerful. Alright, so continuing on, of course, we do run the 1 copy of Silvo, like we talked about earlier. This card just says that if this card is discarded to the graveyard by a card effect, you can special summon this card from the graveyard. But, however, it also has another effect that says if this card was discarded by your opponent's card effect, you can have them put 2 cards on the bottom of their deck from their hand. So that is pretty much just a little bit of way to card loop your opponent, as well as being able to make it to where your opponent can't activate their effects if they're tier element monsters. Practically, they just have to put it on the bottom of the deck and forget about it. Continuing on, I was really wondering if I should run this card. I'm not a big fan of it, but it comes up every once in a while. It's the brand new Parl, Hermit of the Dark World. This card just says that if this card is discarded to the graveyard by a card effect, you can target 1 Dark World monster in graveyard except Parl, special summon it to either field. Then if this card was discarded by an opponent's card effect, you can special summon to either field 1 Fiend monster that is banished, or in your hand, or in your graveyard. You can only use that effect once per turn. Honestly, it's practically just a monster reborn. You're not really going to make your opponent have to send it, but if you do with, let's say, Ceruli, then I guess it can come up. But honestly, if you're going to, in the post-game, the post-build board, you're just going to go into Silva to loop your opponent's cards instead. But continuing on, we do run 1 copy of Beige. I was thinking about running 2, but honestly, I think 1 is just fine. I might test around with it. It might go up, it might stay at 1. I might remove it. I don't know. But practically, this just says that if this card is sent to the graveyard by discarding, you can special summon this card. Not really too much. It's a level 4 Dark Fiend. You can use it for Xyz plays, but that's really about it. To wrap it up, we do, of course, run the 1 copy of Ceruli. Ceruli just says that you can, if this card is discarded, you can special summon this card to your opponent's out of the field. So you discard it, special summon it to your opponent's out of the field. This card then can trigger, or, well, it has a trigger, and it says that you can, that your opponent, which would be you at this point, would be able to just discard a card. It's okay, it comes up, it can actually really be really powerful for grind game or whatever, but honestly, I don't think I should, I don't think running more than 1 is correct. Alright, continuing on with the monsters, we're going to go into the dangers. We, of course, run 3 copies of Nessie. All dangers have the effect where you can reveal that danger monster from your hand. Then you shuffle your hand, your opponent picks one card randomly, and then discard that card. If that card that was not discarded was, like, let's say you revealed Nessie, they hit your Cerulli, you can special summon, draw 1 card. However, if, let's say, you reveal it, they hit it, and force you to discard it, each danger monster has their own effect, so pretty much we're going to just go over those effects in this discussion. Nessie's discard effect is if this card is discarded, you can search for 1 danger monster and add it to your hand. Pretty simple. Then, of course, we have 1 danger Jackalope. Jackalope's effect is that when it's banished, you can special summon a danger from the deck. Then we run 1 copy of Tsushinoko. Tsushinoko's effect is that when it's discarded, you can just special summon it. Don't know why it's at 1, but honestly, I'm hoping that it goes to 3 on this next list. Continuing on, we do run 2 copies of Mothman. The reason why we run 2 copies of Mothman is its effect is literally just a Dark World dealings. Being able to just each player draw 1 card and then discard 1 card. Then I run 1 copy of Bigfoot and 1 copy of Thunderbird. Bigfoot's effect is you can target 1 monster on the field, destroy it. Then Thunderbird is you can target 1 spell or trap on the field, destroy it. Reason why we don't run more than 1 of these is we do not have that card. Like there's an Xyz monster. I'll have it on the screen. But practically, it just allows you to draw a lot. But we do not have that card just yet. I will show you guys what I'm running instead of it. But once we get that card, we would probably cut down. We would find a way to fit like another Bigfoot and maybe an Ogopogo just to be able to get out the rank 8s very easily. Continuing on to the tech cards for the deck, we do run 1 copy of Zephyros the Elite. Zephyros the Elite has an effect that says, while this card is in the graveyard, you can target 1 card on the field, return it to the hand, special summon this card, then burn yourself for 400 life points. But that being said, it gets your card back into your hand, and it special summons a monster on the field. Really not a bad effect. This card that I'm about to show you guys was actually suggested to me by my friend DarkArmedDuelist. Be sure to check him out. He's a really good Yu-Gi-Oh! YouTuber who has over 70,000, I want to say 72,000 subscribers, so be sure to check him out. I'll probably link him down in the description, and I'll link his deck profile. But I do run 1 copy of Neko Main King. Neko Main King has the effect of if this card on your during your opponent's turn, if this card in your possession is sent to the graveyard by an opponent's card effect, it becomes the end phase. So practically, you would use like your boss monster Graphia. They try to use a monster effect. You'd activate this effect, and then it would change that card to discard a card. You discard Neko Main King, and then in turn, really, really broken. But we only run 1 copy. Alright, continuing on to the spell cards. I only run 2 copies of the Gate to Dark World. Some people run it at 3. I find that 2 is just fine. But practically, its effect is all fiend-type monsters on the field gain 300 attack and defense. It also has another effect that's it's a once per turn, but it's not a hard once per turn. So if you have multiple copies, you can activate it. That's why people run 3. I personally run 2. But it says you can banish 1 fiend-type monster from the graveyard, which would, of course, mainly be your Cerulli if you use Cerulli's effect. Then you can discard 1 fiend monster and then draw 1 card. Continuing on, we do run 3 copies of Dark World's Ascension. It's pretty much the fusion spell of the deck to get out your boss monster Graphia. Pretty much it just says that if you're refusing for a Dark World monster, you can discard the cards from your hand instead of just sending them to be able to trigger your Dark World effects. Continuing on, we do run 1 copy of Dark World Archives. Dark World Archives says, during your main phase, you can discard 1 Dark World monster, and if you do, Dark World monsters you currently control gain attack equal to the discarded monster's level times 100. And then it says, until the end, that's until the end of turn, of course. And then the other effect says, if a monster whose original type is Fiend is discarded from your hand by the effect of Dark World card, which also includes this card. Or an opponent's card effect, even during the damage step, you can discard 1 card, then draw 2 cards. Only reason why we run one copy of this is it is a hard once per turn, but honestly with a card effect that powerful, it should only be a once per turn. So that's it mainly for the Dark World spells. We do actually run one more, but it's part of our consistency package, so we're going to go into the consistency right now. Continuing on, we do run 3 copies of Dark World Dealings. As I kind of touched on earlier, it is practically just both players draw 1 card, both players discard 1 card. Very simple, don't really need to talk too much about it, but it's a really good card just being able to activate our Dark World cards. Of course, then you run 3 copies of Allure of Darkness. Allure of Darkness just says draw 2 cards, then banish 1 dark monster from your hand. If you do not have a dark monster to send from your hand, to banish from your hand, you discard your entire hand. Which, honestly, all of our monsters, every single one of our monsters in our deck, except for Neko Main King, are dark. So really, we're going to draw 2. Then, to wrap it up, we do run 1 copy of Card Destruction. Card Destruction is a really good card in the deck, just being able to discard both players discard their entire hand and draw the same number. Only downside to this card is if you're playing against like Tier Element or the Mirror Match, so definitely be careful about that. Alright, continuing on to the extra deck, we do of course run 2 copies of the brand new fusion monster called Graphia, Dragon Overlord of Dark World. This card is really good, being able to just once per turn, quick effect, if your opponent activates a monster, spell, or trap, you can change the effect of that card once per turn to target player, the opponent player discards 1 card. So as I said, that can be your you can use this for Silva to be able to make your opponent lose 2 cards in their hand, or you can use that for Neko Main King just to end the turn. It also has another effect that if this card leaves the field due to an opponent's card effect, you can special summon 1 Graphia, the original Graphia, Dragon Overlord of the Dark World. You can special summon it from either the graveyard or banished, and then each player discards 1 card. That's really it for the fusions. Really powerful card though, really easy to get into, and just overall really good. Continuing on, we do run 1 copy of Dark because, again, as I said, most of our monsters are dark monsters. Then we run Cross Sheep because it can come up. Everybody says that this is one of the best links in the deck, so I figured I would try it out, and I personally really like it being in the deck. Continuing on, I do run an IP Masquerena package, so of course we run 1 IP Masquerena, 1 Nightmare Unicorn, 1 Nightmare Phoenix, and then you can count this as a IP card, but even without it, it's still a really good card. We do run 1 Underworld Goddess of the Closed World. Really powerful card. I don't think I really need to go into it too much, however, it does link using 1 monster your opponent controls as well. So that's it for the smaller links. For the big boss monster links we do run 1 Blacklisted Soldier Chaos, just to be able to increase our life points as well as just do a lot of other stuff, including making a second attack or banish 1 card. Then, of course, we run Apollosa for the negations, because why would you not run Apollosa in a deck that, fills the board? And then, to help end games, we do run 1 copy of Access Code Talker. Alright, continuing on, there are a few cards that should be changed in the Xyz monster spots, however, I cannot either find them or I do not have them just yet, but I am going to be ordering them soon. I run, of course, 1 Abyss Dweller because mirror matches are going to be a thing, Tier Element is going to be a thing. So, why not run something that can stop both? I do run 1 copy of Gaga Cowboy, however, this should be a Dagaris just to be able to draw 2, discard 1 to be able to activate our monster's effects. But I found Gaga Cowboy can do pretty well, however, honestly, you should be running Dagaris instead. I run number 23, Lancelot, Dark Knight of the Underworld. This card should be the card that I had on screen earlier. I will show it again because I cannot, for the life of me, remember the name of it right now. But that's what the card should be, just to be able to draw a bunch of cards and discard a bunch of cards. And then to wrap up the extra deck, we do run 1 copy of Divine Arsenal AA Zeus, Sky Thunder, just to be able to wipe the field. Reason why I ran the Lancelot instead was because this card can attack directly. It's just generic 2 level 8s, attack direct, then you make Zeus, detach, wipe fields, and just wipe your hands of it and just end the game. So that's going to be about it for the deck profile, guys. Be sure to leave a like, comment down below what you guys think of the deck profile. Be sure to check out the links in the description for my Twitter, as well as to check out DarkArmedDuelist's channel and his video on Dark Worlds, because I think that he might have gone into it a little bit better than I could have. But with that being said, I do want to thank you guys so much for watching and sticking around to the end. With that being said, see you guys next time.